My hidden romance before tying the knot, a startling true tale. Greetings to all. I am Sophia, born and raised in Virginia. A tranquil place where the streets are shadowed by towering trees and endless rows of homes whisper secrets of the past. In this seemingly tranquil town, I navigated the tumultuous waters of my childhood, enveloped by the bittersweet embrace of my parents' love. My mother was a gentle and kind-hearted woman, her warm smile greeting me from the early hours of the morning as she prepared breakfast. That same loving expression lingered well into the evening, illuminating our small but cozy kitchen as she toiled away, pouring her heart into every meal. My father, in stark contrast, was a man of few words, yet he carried an overwhelming weight of responsibility. He labored relentlessly, driven by an unwavering commitment to shield our family, pouring every ounce of his strength into our safety and well-being. In the heart of our modest home, love and laughter clashed with the weight of unspoken dreams, each moment steeped in the bittersweet essence of togetherness. Every fragment of my memory from those early years appeared flawless, or so I convinced myself back then. Before we dive deeper, I urge you to subscribe to my channel. Your support is crucial for me to unveil more gripping true stories, just like this one. Believe me, every moment of this video is crucial, so keep your eyes glued until the very end. The unfolding of this story is poised to shock you in ways you never expected. Then, at the tender age of 15, everything I knew came crashing down. My mother, the very essence of our home, was taken from us far too soon, succumbing to a sudden and unforeseen illness. Everything unfolded in an instant, leaving me reeling, struggling to grasp the chaos around me. In an instant, she was gone, her warm hand slipping away from mine, her laughter echoing in the silence, leaving a haunting void. In an instant, she vanished. The void that ensued was excruciating. The agony of her absence was profound. Yet witnessing my father descend into the depths of solitude and despair within a home that once resonated with joy was an entirely different torment. We remained under the same roof, yet an unspoken shift had altered everything between us. Our home, once a sanctuary of light and love, now bore the weight of an unbearable sorrow. Each morning, I trudged to school, and every evening, I returned to a house that had lost its warmth, a place that no longer embraced me as it once did. The familiar kitchen, where the same simple meals are prepared, holds an air of unspoken tension. Yet, in the absence of my mother's presence, we were like two estranged souls, trapped in the same space yet worlds apart. At the moment I stepped into adulthood, my father made a life-altering decision to remarry. The news struck like a thunderclap, reverberating through my very core, despite the undeniable truth that he was worthy of a second chance at happiness. His new wife, my stepmother, was a kind and gentle woman, yet there was an underlying tension in her grace that hinted at untold stories and unspoken struggles. Alongside her arrived a son, Daniel, just a year my junior. From the instant they stepped into our lives, it was as if my entire world had been violently upended once more. Initially, the presence of a stepbrother cast an unsettling shadow over my world. After countless hours spent in solitude with my father, the shift to new family dynamics felt like an insurmountable challenge. Silence enveloped Daniel and me, a heavy weight hanging in the air between us, each lingering in uncertainty, grappling with the weight of their silence. He didn't do anything overt to unsettle me. He was equally ensnared in the chaos, just as bewildered as I was. Each evening, the four of us would converge in the living room, the air thick with unspoken words and lingering glances. My father and stepmother engaged in lively conversation about work and future plans, their voices filling the air with a sense of purpose. Meanwhile, Daniel and I remained in a heavy silence, our eyes locking in a dance of uncertainty, each glance laden with unspoken questions that hung between us like a thick fog. As time wore on, the family meals evolved into something deeply familiar, a rhythm that felt both comforting and inevitable. Daniel, despite their quiet demeanor, revealed glimpses of warmth, extending a hand to assist with the dishes and presenting me with food at dinner. Each act laden with unspoken significance. These fleeting moments, though they appeared trivial, carried an undeniable gravity that demanded my attention. Initially, I convinced myself that I was simply being too sensitive. The way Daniel gazed at me was reminiscent of a younger brother's deep admiration for his older sister, filled with unspoken emotions and a longing for connection. Yet, beneath the surface, an unsettling truth gnawed at me, whispering that everything had changed. The air crackled with an unmistakable tension between us. An unspoken bond, heavy with unacknowledged weight, intensified with every fleeting moment that slipped away from us. My heart would pound violently in his presence, a relentless reminder of the turmoil within me. I loathed how my mind would drift to forbidden thoughts, ones I dared not entertain. Yet, despite my desperate attempts to bury it deep within, the truth loomed large and undeniable. My feelings for Daniel were beginning to shift, blurring the lines of our relationship in ways I never anticipated. One night, as I lay in bed, my gaze fixed on the ceiling, a faint sound of soft footsteps echoed outside my door. In the stillness of the night, Daniel would often linger at my door, his presence a fleeting shadow as we exchanged whispered words before he vanished back into the darkness of his own room. It had evolved into a fragile ritual for us. Yet, that night carried an unmistakable weight. As he slipped into my room, an unsettling tension hung in the air. He seemed unsure whether to stay or leave. His eyes carried a deeply emotional expression that left me breathless. He seemed on the brink of revealing something crucial. Yet the words eluded him, hanging heavy in the air. I swallowed hard, my heart pounding violently in my chest as the silence between us lingered, heavy and suffocating. Before I could grasp the weight of my actions, I found myself nodding ever so slightly, a wordless plea, urging him to linger just a moment more. We lingered in the haunting shadows cast by the moonlight seeping through my window. Two strangers, bound by an unexpected emotional bond that defied explanation. To be utterly candid, I had feelings for Daniel, far beyond what was necessary. His handsomeness was striking, an undeniable presence that demanded attention. The rational voice within me shouted in protest, insisting that this was a grave mistake. We shared the same roof, yet the air between us crackled with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. To the outside world, we were a family bound by unbreakable ties. Yet, reason failed to quell the frantic beating of my heart in his presence. And then, on that fateful night, the course of everything shifted irrevocably. With our parents away on a 5-day trip, the house felt eerily silent, leaving Daniel and me to navigate the weight of solitude together. Initially, we perceived it as a chance to unwind, free from the watchful eyes of our parents. Yet, with each passing day, the strain between us became increasingly suffocating. As the sun dipped below the horizon, we found ourselves on the couch, the flickering light of the movie casting shadows around us, each moment thick with unspoken words and unshared glances. A forgettable romantic film that left us both indifferent and unengaged. I had meticulously prepared the snacks, dried squid, fresh fruit, and a handful of soda cans, each item a whisper of anticipation, a promise of flavors waiting to collide in a moment of unexpected delight. We shared a fleeting laugh, savoring the precious moment of respite amidst the chaos. Suddenly, an intense moment erupted on the screen, capturing every ounce of attention. An emotionally tense scene between the central figures, fraught with unspoken emotions. The room was engulfed in an oppressive silence. The atmosphere grew heavy with the weight of unvoiced thoughts. Daniel's gaze was fixed on me, a searing warmth enveloping my skin, igniting a rush of conflicted feelings within. My fingers gripped the soda can with a fierce intensity, a desperate attempt to steady the storm brewing within me. And then, in an instant, he surged forward. In an instant, Daniel moved toward me unexpectedly, catching me off guard. His movements were powerful, resolute. He leaned in closer, crossing an unspoken boundary in an emotional and unexpected moment that triggered a whirlwind of emotions within me. All the emotions we had buried deep within us, every feeling we had desperately tried to ignore, emerged intensely in a tumultuous wave, overwhelming us in an instant. I should have cast him aside. I should have spoken up. Yet, I chose not to. I was unable to do it. That night altered the course of our lives forever. From that moment on, the lines that once defined us shattered into oblivion. Our parents were completely unaware. But Daniel and I had stepped into a realm from which there was no return. Days stretched into weeks, each moment heavy with unspoken weight. Weeks stretched into months, each passing day heavy with unspoken weight. We existed in a world of shadows, expertly crafting the facade of flawless siblings before our unsuspecting parents. Yet, in the shadows of secrecy, we transformed into something profoundly different. Yet, secrets such as ours are destined to surface, no matter how deeply buried they may be. In the end, the weight of reality bore down upon us. As Daniel departed for college, the growing chasm between us compelled us to face the undeniable reality that lay before us. Our relationship was doomed from the start. I forged ahead. I made an attempt, or so I thought. I discovered a fragile sense of stability in my career, nestled in the embrace of a man who promised me everything I believed I desired. We exchanged vows, forged a family, and crafted a life intertwined with dreams and challenges. Yet, even after all these years, the unresolved memories of Daniel refuse to fade away. I gaze at my husband, the one who loves me without reservation, and a whirlwind of thoughts consumes me. Should I reveal the truth to him? Could revealing my past unravel the very foundation of what we've created together? Or could silence be the sole shield for the fragile existence I've built? Now, I face you, my audience. Imagine standing in my place, feeling the weight of the world pressing down. What choices would you make in that moment of uncertainty? Would you dare to unveil the truth, fully aware of the peril that awaits? Or would you conceal the past, praying it remains buried forever? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I find myself in need of your guidance. What am I supposed to do now?